Hey, how's everyone doing? Happy Mother's Day weekend to all my mommies, all of my moms. We rock. We rock. You guys are so awesome. But all day, I've been thinking about this. It's just been sitting on my mind and I've been dwelling on it. And I think God wants me to speak on it. And I want to speak on it as well. I think it's a very important topic, especially in my community. It's in every community, it's in every race, but me being who I am, I'm used to my community. That makes sense. Anyways, I wanted to talk about parenting. You know, um, I remember a while back I was having a conversation with this young man, and he has multiple children. He has about 6 children, and we were talking about parenting and all that good stuff. And he admitted to me, he said, I don't know how to be a father. I don't know how to parent my children, or I'm afraid. I just don't know. I guess basically he catches anxiety because he don't know if he's doing it right. And I applaud him for that. I applaud him for being honest. A lot of parents, because we are parents, we can tell our children what to do. We don't want to admit to certain things so we don't look weak. But it's not a form of weakness. It's actually a form of strength. It's a form of love. When you admit that you don't know how to discipline your child, you don't know what to say to your child or raise them the way you imagined you wanted to raise them before you had children. Nobody is ready for children. Nobody. I don't care how rich you are, how wealthy you are, how prepared. Nobody is prepared for children. You always learning. Always. That child could be 20 years old, 21 years old, moved out the house, done graduated, done had a family, everything. And we still learning, especially us parents with, multiple children. We are still learning because that first child, everything is new. Graduation, work, first day of college, um, engagement, first dates. It's like everything is always first, so we're always learning. And that's why I applaud him, because he's desperately seeking advice. And I appreciated him for speaking to me about it. Fortunately, growing up, I was a nanny. And a nanny is totally different from a babysitter. A babysitter is just what it is. You sit and you babysit for a few hours. A nanny is actually someone who is a second mom. And I was fortunate enough to be a nanny to, families who were wealthy. And it was different races, all different races, from Chinese to black to Spanish, Jamaicans, Haitians, all types of races. So that was a beautiful for me. And I grabbed something out of each one, even single moms. I was a nanny as well, and I noticed the difference. And I grabbed, little things from each one so that I can teach my children, because I knew that I wanted kids one day. So but I've always learned that it's very important. The first thing to do when you are a parent is to talk to your kids, develop communication. And you develop that communication as young as their babies. Like my baby, she's 2 years old now. I've been speaking to her like she was 5 years old, since she was a baby. So she's very advanced right now because I don't talk to her like a baby. I talk to her like She knows better, and she will do better. She will be better. She will be great. She will be intelligent. She will have a mind of her own, and when I do that, it creates a space where, you know, your kids start to come to you for anything. When they hit that age where they become immature, and that's around 11 years old, not even around 9 years old, their minds start to become mature. Those are the very sensitive ages where you are speaking to them and teaching them and setting morals, setting just meaningful things in their mind. Planting beautiful seeds in their minds, teaching them about God, teaching them about prayers, teaching them about their gifts. Because everybody was born with a gift. You observe them, you watch them, you teach them about their gifts. You speak to them and tell them who they are. Because when you do that, then they can carry that to their friends who don't have that type of attention at home, and they're teaching that as well. And then it goes. You start to create generational love, generational blessings by doing that, because they're going to be teaching their kids and their kids teaching their kids, and it's like a chain reaction. So that's first step. Always open a communication with your child. Don't judge them. If right is right, wrong is wrong, though, but there's a way to say it. And when you do feel like you want to say something that's out of pocket to them, and like if you're having a normal conversation, you put yourself in their shoes and see how you would want to receive that message. Because all children are different. Some more sensitive, some more tough, some more thorough. You have to know who your child is, of course. But you teach them about morals, teach them about integrity, teach them about royalty, how royal they are. Because God loves them, because they are children of Christ, they are royal, they are precious, they are priceless. Teach them that. So when they are around their friends, they don't get into peer pressure. They know what's right from wrong. I remember one time my son was talking about something. He was like, yeah, we were in class and the teacher was saying, what did he say? Basically something about discernment, but she didn't use that word. And he was like, "No, Mom, it's discernment. You just need discernment. You need to pray to God for that." And that just made me so proud, because that comes from the conversations that we have. You know what I mean? And it's very important to speak to your children. That's one. Two, it's very important to speak life into them. Tell them how amazing they are. Compliment them sometimes. Compliment their gifts sometimes, so they can practice them as well. Because when you point out their gifts, they can practice them. They, when it's happening, they know that it's happening, and it starts to develop also. It starts to grow. Their gifts start to grow, and they start to pay attention to other gifts that they have as well. So it's beautiful to point out their gifts. It's beautiful to speak life into them. So, and the third thing is to pray over them. Pray to God. If you don't know how to raise your children, because us growing up, especially Caribbean families, we don't have those conversations with our parents. They don't have these conversations with us. Growing up, even about love, my mom never really spoken to me about love, about relationships, none of that. You know what I mean? I had to learn that myself, and it's not her fault. It was just how she was raised as well. So you teach them that as well, you know. Um, and you just let them know that they are precious and priceless. And they are. They are innocent. And you use that innocence to teach them about themselves. So when they're finally mature and understand who they are, they know that it came from mom. You know, it came from dad, it came from their parents, so they can trust that. You know, it's very important to raise your child the right way. Because I noticed that a lot of children are hurt. Like the other day, there was an incident. My son was playing with the neighbor, and I went outside, and the mom came out. She's like, "Who is?" She's calling out my son. "Who is this kid? Where he at? Where he at?" And he was already in the car because I was like, "Come on, we gotta go." So she came to the car. She's like, "Oh, you're so and so. Oh, so you're the one making my daughter cry." And I was like, you know me. Now I'm like, "Why are you making people cry? What's going on?" And then the little girl was like, "Yeah." My son was like, "Well, he already know he's not allowed to have whatever." So basically, she likes him, and he turned her down. He said no. And so when the mom was like, "Why did you turn her down?" He said, "Well, I'm not allowed to have a girlfriend. So I don't know why she's crying and stuff. I'm not allowed to." And that's what I told her. So the mom turned, I'm listening. I'm watching now. Because us parents, we need to do that too, so we can get pointers on how to raise our child. We can watch other parents raise their child, good or bad. We can watch other parents give their child advice, good or bad. So she turned to her daughter and she said, "There's other boys out there." Mind you, the girl is 9 years old, the little girl. She's like, "There's other boys out there. You don't have to like him. He don't have to be your boyfriend." And she's like, "But why? Why?" He's like, my son was like, "But I can't have a girlfriend." She's like, "But you like my best friend." He's like, "No, I don't." Now he's getting scared because mama's standing right here, and mama's observing. So I looked at the girl. I said, "But you shouldn't be thinking about boys right now." I was like, "You're going to get your heart broken one day from a boy, unfortunately. But so use this as a practice. Use this pain as a practice. It's like banging your pinky toe at the edge of your bed. It may hurt for a few minutes, but it will go away. And also, you shouldn't have a boyfriend right now. You shouldn't even be crying over boys right now. You need to save those tears for other things. Right now, boys shouldn't even be on your mind. And the mom is listening, right? So I'm thinking she's going to piggyback on what I said. She goes, "But you don't need him. There's other boys." I'm like, "Really? That's what we're doing? Help me." She told her daughter straight up, "There's other boys you can like." So now she's going around liking all the boys in the neighborhood. Now they don't want to hang out with her anymore. So now she's embarrassed. And I'm like, why did the mom do that? She could have just told her, "Love yourself." And I told her that. I was like, "You are beautiful. You are a beautiful young lady. You are gorgeous. You are gorgeous. Why are you crying over boys? That shouldn't be on your mind. That should be the last thing on your mind. Boys will always be there. But growing up, you only get that chance one time. You only get to be 9 years old one time, 1 year. That's it. So wipe your tears and save those for something else, something that really needed to be cried about. But this is not it. Okay? So the mom is like, and him, why you crying over him? That's what you're crying for? Come on, man, you could do better. I said, no, now, hold up now. Hold up now. My son straight up said he cannot have a girlfriend because he's not allowed. So it's obvious he is responsible. And you need to teach your child that as well. But sounding like that will make people think that I'm being mean, and I'm not. There's ways to raise your children. You have to raise your children right. You can't just pray for them and not raise them right. God is looking like, I'm praying for them. I'm blessing them, but it's through you. They came out through you. So you are a vessel as well. God is using you to raise them. So yeah, make sure you teach your child right from wrong. They're not going to be perfect. They're going to do their own thing sometimes. But you pray for the best. And you do your best to teach them right from wrong. Never quit talking to them. Even if they feel like you're talking too much, oh well, you're going to listen. Because someday when you're not around, they're going to experience whatever it is you spoke to them about. That always happens. So keep a close communication with your babies. And you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And it'd be those type of parents who feel like they don't know how to be parents. And they're the best parents. It'd be like that. So don't be hard on yourself. You're doing an awesome job. You're an awesome parent. There's a reason why God blessed you with a child. He knows that you're responsible enough to raise a human being. And he got your back. He got your back. But yes, that's what I really wanted to say, that we got to do better also as parents. We have to do better. That whole it takes a village to raise a child, that was back then. Some of us don't have that. Most of us, majority of us parents, don't have that anymore. We don't trust that. People are just weirdos nowadays. So you have to, especially nowadays, you have to install, understanding in your child. And it first comes with, of course, prayer, and second, communication. You've got to develop communication between you and your child. And I promise they'll never stray away. You will always be their best friend. No matter how old they get, you will always be their best friend. Now, I'm not talking about mama's boys now. Don't make them no mama's boy. But he knows that it don't matter what it is, no matter how old he is, you're always a phone call away. You would rather him come and talk to you than to talk to somebody out there who don't have their best interests at heart. So take care of them little ones, man. At a young age, around 9, 10, they're very sensitive. They're like sponges, and they are listening. Even if they act like they're not, they're listening. They hear you. All right? Don't be too hard on yourself. You're doing an awesome job. And the results will pay off. You will see the results. It'll show. Well, you have an awesome, blessed night. And remember to keep God first. Peace.